have you watched Stranger Things?
Yes, I am fully caught up. When is the
I
next part
watched
drop?
July 1st.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Is it a full second half or just 2 episodes?
It's 2 episodes, but um, the second episode's 2.5 hours long.
Well, most of the episodes so far have been at least 2 hours long. I feel like
No, it's
for
they've
this
been
season.
they've been like an hour and a half, on average. Um, but but yeah, so the eighth episode, or sorry, the seventh, whatever there's eight and nine. So the eighth episode is going to be like an hour and a half again, and then the ninth episode will be 2.5 hours.
Did you
So.
see my Twitter thread about that season?
About Stranger Things? No.
Yeah. So Tim Pool tweeted season 4 of Stranger Things is boring. And I replied, there's like 4 storylines going on simultaneously. And at any given moment, 2 of them are boring as fuck. And you just want them to get over with so you can get back to the 2 that are interesting. And it just feels like you're constantly getting interrupted by a cutscene interrupting your gameplay. And I literally hit send on this tweet. And like the tweet loads and like goes down to like, having been published on mobile. And my notifications, I already see like a red dot with notifications. I click on it. It's like 20 people have liked this tweet already. And It's like, it's been up there for a nanosecond. Right. And currently it is probably my most liked tweet. In fact, you guys saw I had 4 notifications earlier. I guarantee you. Let's see. Oh, no, they're not actually about that.
I thought the season was pretty good. I didn't have whatever you were talking about where there's like weird. I don't remember that.
166 likes. Okay, well, so I went on to talk about more things. So I'm gonna breach this into
some Stranger Things, perhaps.
Yes, I'm gonna talk more about this. So I said this, and then somebody replied to me, and they said, what did they say? Oh god, there's way more replies. The Hopper Russia storyline definitely felt like a silly time-wasting distraction. The one moment it was good was when he talked about his personal struggles. Why not have him explore those while trying to rebuild his life in Hawkins? Guess it would have been more work. So I replied, not to mention him escaping just to immediately get recaptured. Right? And correct me if I'm wrong. I've had like 5 different people explain to me. Can you tell me what the fuck the plan was with the sledgehammer smacking the shackles?
It wasn't smacking the shackles. It was smacking his foot.
See, I specifically said shackles because I didn't want to say foot. Because my belief, as you have just confirmed for me, is that this guy's plan was to destroy his feet, break the bones, to be able to get these shackles off, and then escape on foot from this prison. That is the stupidest fucking plan ever.
It is stupid. I agree. It was kind of dumb. But there was a sled mobile or whatever, a snowmobile on the other side of that.
Okay. Yes. He took the snowmobile. This has all come up on Twitter, right? In my discussion on this. He took the snowmobile because the opportunity arose after the supply shed exploded and he accidentally or whatever killed all those soldiers. I thought
my understanding was the plan was to go over that mountain, and that's where he was heading.
But here's the thing. They never established that his plan was looking over, in the middle of the day, working on the railroad, looking over and eyeballing the snowmobiles that were just sitting right there.
Like, well, the Russian guy said, like, basically you have to go up there or something. I swear he made some comment about like, once you get up there, you're fine, and then you can go meet.
You're talking about Jaqen H'ghar from Game of Thrones.
Yeah. And then once you go, what was his name?
Yuri or something? No, Yuri was the guy who betrayed them.
Yeah.
I forget his name, but
Kiwi? No.
his son was Nikola or something like that. Anyway, that's all I
It
remember.
was a
But-
weird name because she was like, "Oh, it wouldn't be this name." Remember, she was like, "Oh,
No, that was, but the guy that he was talking to was, it was the name of the name of their first date at that restaurant or whatever.
something
right.
like that."
But the
I
thing
can't
is,
remember his name.
the thing is though that this is the conversation I had. Like I'll bring it up. I was so triggered by this idiot's response so look, just to be clear, I did at times miss the subtitles that were for the Russian. Because of one reason or another, because I was watching it with my wife in the middle of the day and my kids would barge in and whatever, so there were times when I missed it. So, but this is the original thread, right? Stranger Things 4 is slow and boring, right? So I said that 166 likes. Not to mention him escaping just to get recaptured. The person said, yeah, it all felt like an excuse for a bunch of silly set pieces and boring intrigue for him and Joyce. But the main storyline and good performances by the kids made it worthwhile to me. To which I replied, as the kids grow older, it becomes clearer which of them are actual actors and which of them are kid actors who grew up. I wouldn't say that any of them are given Oscar-worthy scenes to act out, but holy fuck, did Max take that scene in the graveyard a million miles above and beyond, right? And regarding Hopper, did I miss something with his feet? Did he have that guy break both of his feet with the hammer so he could get the shackles off and run away on foot? Like, I looked away from the subtitles for a second, and next thing I see, his feet getting hammered. And this guy said only 1 foot, I think, but still, next scene he's up and doing gulag work on a smashed ankle. Lol, whatever, right? And then I had this genius come in and say, "Okay, you must have skipped like half an episode or something. He got the guy to hammer the shackles loose, didn't break anything, but good try. He then proceeded to escape not by foot but by snowmobile." Maybe try watching the show first and then comment on it. Thumbs up. So I said, yeah, I saw the snowmobile scene, but that seemed like a spur of the moment thing Hopper took advantage of after the explosion in the shack when everybody was alerted to his position rather than something he specifically planned to do from the beginning. I went on to say, therefore, having somehow missed what exactly Hopper's plan was with his feet / shackles getting hammered, because the guy investigating them didn't seem to think there was anything unusual at all about them. It seemed like Hopper was breaking his feet to be able to slip the shackles off and escape on foot because they didn't previously establish the snowmobiles like it was a viable option for him to escape with. They just showed us the scene. They just showed us that scene right after the hammer scene where he took his boots off and pulled the shackles off his fucked up looking feet. It's certainly possible that my attention was divided at some point and I missed a crucial subtitle where Hopper's plan with the shackles was explained, but it sure seemed like an incredibly stupid plan considering the guy investigating them at the end of every day. So what I mean by that is at the end of the day with the gulag work, a guy like a prison guard would check the shackles to make sure that they weren't damaged or, going to fall apart so that they would have to replace them. Right. So needless to say, logically, you'd think, okay, that means that he's fucking up his feet so that he can now slip them off of his feet, which have to be destroyed and broken. Right. So that because they're not checking his feet, they're just checking the shackles, right? He's like, obviously it was dumb, but he was just trying to get to Joyce, the person he loved and sacrificed himself for. Oh, well, hold on. That's not that one. This one.
I remember watching.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, he had gouges in his feet, but I don't think it was completely broken. And he obviously knew they were a thing because he had seen guards ride them or he had seen them in the area at some point. Not like they magically showed up, assuming I said that about the snowmobiles, right? And I said, yes, but they didn't establish them for the sake of the audience. So what we're shown is his shackles being investigated and him pulling them over his completely fucked up feet. Naturally, that lands a person to believe that he was fucking up his feet, which they don't investigate, in order to get the shackles off without raising suspicion. Therefore, it seems like his plan is to fuck up his feet so he can get the shackles off and then slip away unnoticed and walk to the church on foot. Instead, shit goes down in the shack and he escapes on the snowmobile. Because if he got on the snowmobile when he was like, because the plan was to break the hammer and then go to the shack and pretend like you need to get a new one so that you can go in there and go out the window once you get the shackles off and just kind of sneak away and get over the mountain or just hide until nightfall or whatever. So you can find a way to get away unseen. And then at whatever speed you can go, get to the fucking church, right? If you got on the fucking snowmobile, all of a sudden be like, hey, wait a minute, he's getting away. Shoot at him and chase him and fuck, right? It doesn't make any goddamn sense that was part of the plan to begin with, because the only reason he was able to get away was because of the fucking explosion, which was obviously not something he didn't even know there was dynamite in there until he was in there.
Wasn't the snowmobile like over the ridge?
Yeah.
So I think the guard guy had the snowmobile up there and I'm pretty sure he said, like, if you go there, you can get up the hill and then make your way to the hideout place.
No, but it wasn't over the ridge. He rode it up the ridge. You're talking about like the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, he rides it up the ridge and they shoot at him from where they are. And by some miracle, everybody shooting at him misses, and he gets over the ridge, and then he's like, oh, scot-free. Then he gets all the way to the fucking church and opens the jars of peanut butter and finally eats something.
Yeah.
And then not 2 seconds later, they busted the door and like, you're coming back to the prison, bitch. And if you think for a fucking second that after all the trouble he caused, they would just fucking cap him right there, rather than take him back to fight the Demogorgon. It's just the goddamn stupidest plot line.
Dude. Go ahead. Go, Gary. I mean,
I didn't really have so much of an issue with that.
Not to mention, hold on real quick, not to mention that he was barefoot during the entire escape on the snowmobile, right? So I said it completely took me out of the story. Hopper's feet are just gone after that. I half expected him to survive the pain of broken feet because of some stupid Mr. Deeds level frostbitten limbs excuse. I don't know if you ever saw the movie.
Yeah, I did. Maybe part of my problem with feet.
Possibly.
But yeah, so him getting to the snowmobile wasn't a big issue for me. Obviously, he's breaking his. What I took it to was he had him smash his heel, so that his heel was damaged, but he could still walk. And with the dented heel, he could slip the thing over his heel. And so while I do still think it's a little funny to see him then go walk around as if it's nothing, and then not a day later go in a gulag and fight a Demogorgon.
Right.
But still, I let most of that slide. The things that I had
imagine though, just fucking imagine, like, what would have been a more reasonable excuse. Don't fuck up your feet. Literally, your plan should have been go to the shack, get a new hammer, right? Go out through the window, make your way to the woods, break the fucking chain with the hammer, and then escape.
Yeah.
They just didn't set up a coherent plan to begin with.
So
it was fucking horrible writing.
My issue with that, it was more on the plot hole side, because if you watched the end credit scene from season 3, they're walking down the prison and they're like, okay, grab the guy to throw to the Demogorgon, and he makes a comment, he's like, not the American, and they pass the cell with the American in it, which is Hopper, and then they go grab another guy.
So I brought this up previously on the podcast. Maybe I don't remember if it was on podcast or in the after show segment where we were talking about how they fucked up the trailer for season 4 because it ruins the cliffhanger of season 3. And Reese said that there's an after credit sequence.
No, I said that.
Okay, whatever.
I told you that. But yeah.
When I sat down to watch season 4, I started on the last episode of season 3.
Yeah.
And that after credit sequence was not there.
It's 100% there.
I'll pull it up right now.
I didn't imagine it. It might. I don't. It might not be after credits, but it's the last scene. It might be just before the credits roll.
Backpedal fast. He's looking.
Um,
No, I'm just saying, like, I looked for it and I was surprised because I believed you guys, and when I tried to find it, I couldn't find it.
one, you should believe me because I'm always right.
I'm like, wait a minute. why can't I
We
find
have a
Stranger
Lorax here.
But it is for sure there.
So how can I sign up for Spacebook? Is all I want to know. Come on,
when
Alien
I
Bait.
get a
What about it?
trademark on it. But so there's a plot hole in the fact that if you believe that happens, the way that scene plays out, where they are like Hopper is clearly in the super secret prison already with the Demogorgon, and you even see the Demogorgon in that credit scene. Yeah, it's yeah. So there's a short little bit of it's at an hour and 12 minutes in episode 8 of season 3.
I'm at an hour and 10 minutes, 11 minutes. Okay.
There's
when I get to an hour and 12 minutes, it goes straight to the credits.
Say watch credits. If that thing pops up.
Yeah.
And then at about a minute or an hour and 12 minutes ish.
Okay, I see something in the timeline thing. I'm gonna see if yeah. Right, hold on, I'm watching it. I'm gonna see if I remember this. I do kind of remember.
Live reaction
in Russia. Right. Okay, let's see.
So they walk past
not the American
Hopper's cell, and they're like, not American. They grab the other guy, and then they throw that other guy in with the Demogorgon. And so
yeah, but they don't actually show you Hopper. They just say not the American, right?
They show you Hopper.
Oh, he like looks up to see through. It's very likely that when I watched this the first time, I missed the subtitle that said "not the American."
They might not have shown you the Hopper actually.
Well, see, the thing is that when he supposedly dies, like literally the second he like sacrifices himself, I told my wife, I'm like, I guarantee you, he's in the Upside Down.
Well, that wasn't very clear either. Even in in season 4, episode 1, they show Hopper and he's like magically in Russia. They never really show him traversing through the Upside Down.
Well, what they showed, they just showed him on the other side of the portal, which we just assumed that portal went straight to the Upside Down. But when she cranked it up or whatever, I don't know, maybe it shoots you all the way through. Anyway, I don't know
if I'm happy.
I just remembered that this is how wait, was it? Okay, so here's what happened when I tried to watch the after credits thing. I tried to jump to the last scene before, when the credits started, and I accidentally jumped to the end of the after credits thing. That's what happened. Yeah, they don't show you Hopper. But
you know Hopper's there, right?
Well, you assume that he's the American they're talking about.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that in season 4's trailer, they legitimately show you it's him and kind of ruin any like, oh, is it him? You know? Anyway. So I don't know. I've been I enjoyed season 4 immensely, except for there were a couple bits of, like I said, it's slow. And they've got too many storylines going on where the California kids and the Hawkins, what are they, Indiana kids, like simultaneously going on, and it's just like I kind of don't care about the storyline in California right now, where they went to see Dustin's girlfriend and had to get like they just kept throwing you like stumbling blocks. Like, well, I got in trouble for changing his grade, so they took my computer. Okay, well, we need to get another computer, and then they just it just felt like they were dragging it out, especially the stuff in Russia where, like, again, with them going to first of all, where'd you get the 40 grand? Second of
They
all,
said.
did they? How'd
Yeah.
they get it?
It was the money that Hopper's like pension or whatever gave for 11.
Huh.
Yeah,
It
must
said
be
that specifically, and that's why Hopper asked, because Hopper arranged with the guy,
Oh, right.
the guard,
Before
to have
he,
the guard contact Joyce,
Mhm.
and Hopper was the one that told him, like, ask for $40,000. They have it. They have
Okay.
the money, because it was put aside for 11.
Okay.
So yeah, my issue, again, just to be clear, was they go from that scene and then they start season 4. So they're in the Demogorgon prison, and then they go to season 4 and he's not in the Demogorgon prison. And then they eventually do get to the Demogorgon prison, and he is never in a point where he's in an enclosed cell like he is in that scene at the end of season 3. So
Well,
for me,
yeah, that because the Demogorgon like battlefield was like they changed the design for it. You mean?
well, I
Because
mean,
like they
you
let
you
that
could
one
argue they have multiple Demogorgon
Yeah.
cells. That's fine.
Well,
But they
I think the way I kind of read it was that the guy that I just watched get eaten was like they're growing the strength of the monster, and then they started to have him go out against. They're testing the strength of the monster they've been feeding
Yeah.
against all the prisoners, like simultaneously at once, kind of thing.
Yeah, so I can agree that, okay, the end of season 3 they show a scene where they only throw one guy at the Demogorgon, and they're
Mhm.
like, all right, he took it, and then maybe they move it. I don't care. But the point was that for basically what I have to believe happened is, for the timeline to make sense, he goes through the portal, he gets captured, he gets put in secret thing, then he gets released from secret prison into normal prison, and then he breaks out of normal prison and then gets put back in secret prison.
Mhm.
If that's what happened, then okay. But
Wow.
if he got captured through the portal and then put into the normal prison first, then the end credit scene doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
So
and it just again, it's just like it's such a stupid plan for the Russians. Even like just it seemed like it probably seemed much better on paper when they came up with the loose structure rather than the actual full fleshed out thing.
yeah, as for I don't know how much they've like pre-planned the later seasons, or at least when they were making season 3. So like they might have written themselves into a corner with moving Joyce and everyone and having Hopper jump through the portal. And that's probably why, that might be why you're seeing what you think of as like, wasting time.
Well, what I mean is like okay, so the four storylines you're following are Hopper in Russia,
Yeah.
Joyce and the other guy trying to get him out of Russia.
If you want
Which
to
I
see
guess
that as
I guess
a separate,
you could combine those together. Let's just say that that's one. The Russia stuff, okay? Then you've got
yeah.
the California stuff. Then you've got the Hawkins stuff, and then you've got the 11 at Area 51 shit, right?
Yeah.
And all of those at a different point are just like fucking get on with it already. Like the stuff with 11 just took way too fucking long for you to realize, oh, he's number 1. It's like I called that shit the second they acknowledged, oh, he's a myth. I'm like, it's gonna be that guy. I pointed out to my wife, that guy right there, that's him. And that's gonna be the guy killing people in Hawkins too. Promise you. Say that to my fucking wife, and it's like it was so obvious right? And it's like I'll still watch it. It was still a good reveal and everything, but it just when it's that obvious, it was so draining to get to the moment where they finally reveal it. So you're like, finally we can move past this because the character has gotten to the point I've been at for 3 damn episodes, so there's that with the 11-bit, right? And then you've also got the Russia stuff, which is, again, it's like, yes, I want Hopper out of the prison. Your plan is fucking stupid. At least you made it out of the prison barefoot on the snowmobile, and then you're immediately captured. I have to fucking sit through this shit longer just because you didn't think to get him. Like, honestly, here's how you solve the problem. He escapes the prison. This is how it should have gone. He escapes the prison by defeating the Demogorgon. That's how he should have gotten out of there. In the commotion of that battle, that's how he should have gotten out. And then you don't have to have the whole like back and forth, the stupid thing with him shattering his heel and all that. Because I don't buy for a second that you're still walking on it fine. You can't convince me that you're going to take a sledgehammer to your heel and continue to do gulag work and have it be like nothing happened.
I mean, if anyone would have hit that bracelet, if it's what I'm thinking, with a sledgehammer hard enough, you're going to damage the leg anyway. Like even
but the thing is, he couldn't, even though he's actually having it get hit because you can't avoid it. Yeah. You can't actually damage that without raising suspicion as well.
Yeah,
and it was poorly written there. Now, with that said, all the shit that happens in Indiana is fucking great. Like, I just couldn't wait for them to get back to that because that's where it was interesting.
I think the Russia stuff was just, we need Hopper to do something, and we need Joyce and the other guy to get away from the kids so the kids can be by themselves.
And it was obvious, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, and the stuff in California with like her lying about having friends, and then the stupid shit in the roller rink and busting that girl's, and it's like, I'm so glad that you fabricated this event with this conflict just so that I can get the release of her finally cutting loose and hurting the girl. And
they
like the
actually
whole
got
shit about
fucked
her
on that, eh?
What?
I don't know if you've seen that. So of all the dates they picked March 22nd, I think it was, for that video camera to be used to record her. Like, there's no other dates to like date what's happening, right? But
the camera, because they filmed it.
They used the camera to date the prank, and it was like, I think it's March 22nd or something, which is Will Byers' birthday. So they got called out on it. Like, they're like, that's Will Byers' birthday. No one mentions happy birthday to him at all in the episode.
So a belief among people in that thread with Tim Pool's tweet is that they think that they're shoehorning in Will Byers is gay for
well, they're not really shoehorn. So after I watched this season, I marathon season 1 again, and they do make mention in season 1 that Will's dad thinks that he's gay, right?
Okay.
Joyce says like, oh, to Hopper, she's like, oh, husband guy or ex-husband guy calls him queer and thinks he's gay or whatever. Like, there are some hints that he might actually be gay.
I have to rewatch it.
They're making it more apparent in this season for sure. They're like,
dude, okay, every character becomes more human as they get older, except for Will has remained the same, like the same haircut and the same, everything from season 1. And he just looks he looks brand Stark out of place.
Yeah. I don't like Will's hair. That's for sure. I think in season 1 it looked fine, but now it's become a meme almost. Like, it's just like,
especially weird when you see what the actor looks like outside of playing the character. Yeah. Where he just looks normal, and you're like,
so the writers did come out and say it was a mistake. They didn't realize it was his birthday. They just forgot. So they didn't intentionally snub him.
Well, so here's the other thing though, is that you have to program the date on the thing. I can look at that as it's just a coincidence, or it's almost like the sort of a framing tool for the story you're telling of how Will feels in that scene, that he's being ignored by his best friend who came from Indiana to California to see
Yeah.
11.
I mean, it
right?
definitely hits different if you think that they're ignoring him, but
Yeah.
the writers did come out and say it was just an accident. They didn't intend to do that.
Or it's deflection for the final 2 episodes.
Maybe.
But probably not, because why would
that would be funny.
Why would they not address it at all?
Yeah, it would be funny if that happened. But yeah,
Oh,
you would think
Danny's
you would.
Do they usually address all the characters' birthdays in that show? I
Well,
watched the first 2
he
seasons.
has a birthday in one of the seasons, right? Where they have like the cake and everything.
if it, I think Joyce says his birthday when she's explaining who he is and like, oh, he's not run away, like his birthday's here or something. I don't know. I don't remember where his birthday came in, but his birthday definitely was that day. And you would think if they were going to make it a plot point, they would have him like, be shown to be expecting a happy birthday and then not getting it or something like that. But yeah, the other thing, the things that I had issue with, well, one was the thing with Hopper. I like that the season started out like nice and dark. Like I like that direction. But then in episode 3, I forget which character it was. One of them starts monologuing. I didn't write down who it was. It might have been the guard. But
You
one of them
write out
starts.
a review for this?
Oh God.
I wrote down some notes, just not just like AC, but not in tweet form. In a Discord group, and I was like, this monologue seems like fucking the Optimus Prime monologue from Transformers. At the end of Transformers.
Yeah, dude, that's that. I can't remember. Like, I'm vaguely remembering because I felt the same thing. I don't remember which character said it, but it's like
they did it in
this?
multiple episodes.
Oh,
That was my thing. So in episode 3, I wrote it down as I was watching it. I was like, oh, this reminds me of Optimus Prime. This is pretty dumb. And I was like, and then I remembered. I was like, there was a monologue in episode 1. Now that I remember it, but episode 1 makes sense. You have your monologue at the very beginning, explaining what the situation is. And then in episode 4, I just watched the most unrealistic scenes in the entire show involving pizza, and that's where they're in the house and they order the pizza, and the army shows up to shoot up the house, and like they're getting like bullets are flying and they're standing in the middle of the house not getting hit. Like, how are these people not dying right now?
Dude, like I said, there's just so much of the story where it feels like in season 3 they wrote themselves into a corner that they're trying to undo for season 4, where right at the end of season 3 they move to California, the Byers and 11 do, and then Hopper's in Russia, right? And they're stuck in these situations, and now it's like, okay, so now we have to get you guys back together, and it's just like they're having the hardest time figuring out how to unfuck themselves on the stupid decision they made at the end of season 3. And it's like that character, they add Argyle for the pot jokes, and it's like, dude, this isn't going anywhere. And it's like the whole subplot about Jonathan with college and shit. It's like, oh my God, just fucking open your goddamn mouth,
Well, I think they want her to go back to the other guy, her first boyfriend.
It seems pretty obvious that they're trying to uncuck what's that guy's name? Oh my god, why? Fuck. Hold on. I'm pulling up Jack and Hagar guy so we can find out his fucking name. Stranger Dimitri. That was his name.
Dimitri?
Dimitri.
Okay.
And the other guy's name is fucking god damn it. What is your name? Steve Harrington. That's it.
Steve. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it very much does seem like they're trying to rekindle that for some reason.
So in episode 5 there was another long monologue that I noted. I was like, these weird monologues. In episode 6 there was a scene where Joyce and the other guy are walking in the snow with Eli or whatever, Yuri. And I noticed that at exactly 47 minutes and 26 or 21 seconds, the footprints in the snow are digitally added, and they
This is
like,
in your notes.
yeah, they fade the footprints too quickly. It looks so weird. It's just
All right,
like
what
the
episode is this?
Episode 6, 47 minutes and 21 seconds.
Okay, hold on. I gotta see
The
this.
footprints like just start disappearing way too quickly. I think they wanted it to be like, well, the snow
So when did
is
Luke
like
Skywalker show up?
the snow is like, filling in, but it just looks like they're
Never mind.
fading out.
Okay, I'm pulling it up. Episode 6. Also, the shit. Another thing that they're having to unfuck themselves on is 11 losing her fucking powers.
What?
God, I hate that shit. I just hate.
I
that
was not
shit
expecting
so
that to be a
goddamn much.
plot point.
It's always a fucking plot point. It's the worst,
Alright.
most contrived type of
I'm
plot
stepping
point.
away for a few minutes. If you close out the podcast before, then just give my best.
All right, man.
Later, bro.
What was the timestamp? 47?
47:21.
47:21. Okay. 47:21. So it's the overhead shot?
While they're walking in the snow.
Dude, my thing is so grainy. Like my quality. How do I up the quality on Netflix?
It's generally a setting at the account level.
Yeah.
You just have to just go back a couple seconds and play, and hopefully it'll pick up. My other notes.
Okay. I see it. Hold on.
Yeah, the footprints just fucking disappear. They're like,
You're
gone.
talking about I think it's a little bit before 47:21. Yeah. I meant no. It's just hard to okay, hold on, I'll show you. It's just impossible to fucking tell with the way of course I can't screen share. Netflix has this great thing where I can't do that. But it's impossible to tell because when I'm trying to look at it, that's telling me 47:19. So this is the scene.
Yeah.
Well, I can't fucking show you, unfortunately.
You can see the thumbnail picture.
Yeah. So this is the sequence, not that one.
Right.
It's-
There.
No, it's not that one. It's the one right before that. There's another scene right in between
Okay.
that. Because I can see the feet prints fading away. Yeah. And what's happening? Oh man, this is they're not even there at all.
No, they're digitally added, and then
Yeah. Because they have a mask. This is going back to masking and visual effects. Boy, I wish I could show you guys this. They have a mask. Actually,
Luigi says use a camera instead.
if I
Huh.
share screen like this, will
Old
it show
school.
you? No. Okay, hold on. I
If
don't
you
know.
Mm-hmm.
find the episode illegally, you could probably get it to share.
Yes, I could. That's-
Netflix also
that's-
has a thing that always got on my nerves because whenever you'd like sign in on web browser, for some reason if your your TV was to you can change what HDMI port you're using. If you did that, it would like lock you out and you'd have to go back and sign in. At least it happened to me a lot, which was really annoying.
I have
I-
another way of doing this.
I noted that there was another monologue in episode 7 that is number 1 doing the monologue, and I was like, that one actually fits. It's the end of the volume 1 of season 4, I guess, and the villain is monologuing. Makes sense. All right, that fits. I noted that they often cut to black for far too long. Like they would do like a highly suspenseful thing and then cut to black for like 3 seconds, and it's just like, okay, is that the end of the episode? Like, oh nope, not the end of the episode. It was really
Motherfucker.
weird.
God damn it, Netflix.
In
It's really
episode 7,
it's really good at knowing when you're screen recording.
yeah. No, the best and easiest way would be to find some streaming website that has it illegally. In the last 10 seconds of episode 7, there is jank ass CG. I forget what the CG was, but it was shit.
At the end of episode 7.
Yeah.
What did you think of the? What did you think of the like? What do you call it? How do you describe like the contortion, like demonic thing?
Yeah, the killings. CG wise, I thought they were decent enough.
They looked CG. Like they
Yeah.
had like a I don't want to call it plastic. They almost kind of reminded me of this type of CG you see in Japanese live action movies. But it like weirdly worked for what they were doing because it was extra like off-putting, you know?
Yeah, I think it worked okay enough.
So at the end of at the end of episode 7. Oh, by the way, can I just gush about one of my favorite things in this season? How fucking great it looked when she was when Eleven was in the facility and she was remembering her past self, and in the mirror was her as a kid from season 1.
I thought it looked really good, but I didn't think it looked like season 1 11.
It was literally just a what do you call that? Deep fake.
Yeah.
But I was like so impressed that they actually did it, and it made the fact that it seems so weird for her to be so old, you know. It made that like it made you forget that mattered, you know. Okay,
Yeah.
so at the end of episode 7 is when she turns number 1 into the monster. That's the
Was that it?
CG.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. While
when
he's flying
the
through
particles
this,
are like flying all over.
yeah, while he's getting transformed.
It's him in the upside down world.
Yeah.
That did look funky. Did you notice the guy who the town viewed as like the serial killer guy who scratched out his eyes? Number 1's dad.
Yeah.
Did you know who that was?
No.
That's
actor,
Freddy
no.
Krueger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the actor who plays Freddy Krueger.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah. So when I was looking into wait, hold on. Was it him? Yeah, it's him. I was looking. Oh, okay. So when he first came on screen and they were meeting him at the prison or the insane asylum, I heard his voice and I'm like, that's Liam Neeson. Right? So I immediately look it up, and of course it wasn't Liam Neeson, and
No.
I'm like, that's Freddy Krueger. You know?
The thing about that guy, that was a big plot hole that I was like, what the fuck? And I hope they fix
You
the
mean
plot
you
hole.
mean the fact that young him had a mole on his face that old him didn't? I agree. That was a big plot hole. That
No,
bothered me.
I didn't care about that.
I'm not a weirdo, AC.
I hope so. This is like obviously major spoilers, but I hope they address it in episode 8 or 9. But when he was facing off against Vecna, and you know, Vecna was killing his family. He said that what saved him was listening to
song?
his favorite song.
Mhm.
And later on,
Well,
in
that's
the
not what he
series-
says. He's
he starts
That's
humming
what they
his
pieced together.
favorite song.
Yeah, that's what they pieced together. Do you think it has to be? It just has to be a song that means something to you. It doesn't necessarily need to be your favorite song.
Well,
but that's how
well-
the story kind of unfolded. With it, like, but what if it's no longer my favorite song because I've heard it too many times? You know.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Oh, I
in a
remember.
second.
I remember. Okay, the guy who played the monster, Vecna, was Bigfoot in The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then the Bigfoot.
So not Freddy
That's-
Krueger.
No. Freddy Krueger is the dad of one,
Oh,
number one.
yeah,
but
yeah.
the actual guy playing the monster in the suit is
Oh, okay.
the guy who played Bigfoot in The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then the Bigfoot.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's cool. But yeah, so he says the music thing, and they're like, "Oh yeah, favorite song," and it's what saves Max, right? They start playing her song, and that song's
Kate
blown
Bush.
up on TikTok and everything.
Mhm.
But and so once she starts hearing that song, that portal opens up, like in the in her mind, or I guess whatever, and she gets out the portal and she's safe.
Yeah.
Now I would have thought the rules of the game were like, okay, once you get saved the one time, you're good for the rest of the, like, you're good from then on. But she kept carrying around the headset and kept listening to that song. So that was a little weird. But the bigger issue was when they revealed that it was one who was killing his family
Mhm.
and tried to kill his dad. Number one says, when I went to kill my dad, I didn't know the limits of my own power, and he ends up passing out. So it wasn't the fact that he was listening to a favorite song or whatever that got him saved from
hold up,
Vecna. It
though.
was the fact that
Well-
he just passed out from exhaustion. So then why did the song
But the
save
thing
Max?
is that he wasn't Vecna back then yet. So like that was taking place in the real world,
Yeah.
right? That wasn't taking place in the Upside Down.
Sure.
So theoretically, the thing that was crucial to the plot was them hearing from the psychologist or whatever that music has the ability to reach people or whatever, wherever they got that piece of information, I forget. And that is still how they were able to get to Max. I don't know.
Okay.
I have to rewatch it. That's an interesting concept that you're bringing up. Maybe when I'm at work tomorrow, I'll start Stranger Things at episode 1 and just listen to it the whole day.
And then the other plot hole that I noticed was with the placement of the portal. So she goes into the Rainbow Room and blasts number one through the portal
Mhm.
and creates Vecna, right? And then
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's the portal from season 1, right? Well,
Oh,
I went back
okay, I
to
see what you're
season
saying.
1.
It's not in the
And
Rainbow Room thing?
It's not the fucking same portal. Like, I'm sorry. And then the other thing is they make a note. They're like, oh, in the Upside Down, it's the date that Will Byers disappeared.
Right, because it freezes time.
Yeah. So you're telling me that's the same day that one got sent through the portal was when Will Byers disappeared? That was the same day? Because if that's
Actually,
the same
yeah,
day,
theoretically, yeah, because, well, theoretically, because season 1, the thing that happens at the end of season 4, where you see the creation of Vecna, that is happening during the time frame of season 1, where 11 is still a child, right? Still
yeah.
really young.
Well, it's definitely pre-season 1 for sure.
Yeah. Well, or it's literally like I forget exactly because she escapes from the facility. I've only seen each season once, right?
Well, I went back and rewatched
Yeah.
season 1 because of that specifically. I was like, well, I want to know.
Yeah.
And so when I went back and rewatched it, one, the Rainbow Room is not the same room as the one in season 1 with the portal. Two, like it's structurally different. But okay, fine. I can look past that as like a weird, like okay, continuity error, whatever. The
Mhm.
bigger issue is, in season one, she escapes the place, and then they start showing scenes of her and in the facility, and how she had to kill some guards or something because she was they were trying to get her to kill a rat or a
Yeah.
cat or something, and she didn't want to
But-
kill it, and then she kills the
Yeah,
guards.
because
and
it's a ripoff of Elfrid Lead with the dog, the puppy scene or whatever. There, so but the thing is that she had constructed false memories in order to cope with the fact that she murdered all the kids, right? That she Anakin Skywalkered them.
No,
Huh.
I didn't. Well, one, she
There's a
didn't,
reference I
but
get.
two,
Yeah,
and she would have known that she didn't. So the only scarring thing there would be finding the fact that she
wouldn't it be
finding
interesting?
all of the dead kids.
Wouldn't it be interesting to learn that what's actually happening with her is that the people who got her back into the facility are implanting false memories about. No, because that wouldn't make sense because Vecna still exists and it would be weird to bring that in. So never mind. That was a dumb thought.
Yeah. So in season one, there's a bunch of scenes of her alone. That's the other thing. No other
Mhm.
kids, right? And so I'm like, okay, this must take place after she sent, and she has like strong powers. So I'm like, this must take place after she sent one through the portal, which would make sense, but it seems to be taking place over a few weeks, so not the same day Will
Did they
Byers.
get a new actor to play Papa? Or did
No,
he
I think
just
it's the
age
same.
as fuck, man? He
No,
looked like
I think it's prosthetics that they have on him.
okay. Because I remember in the first season how much like he looks like just a slightly older guy cosplaying Milo Yiannopoulos, like with the white hair and everything that just looked really out of place, like he was definitely bleaching it. And now it's like it looks appropriate to him because of his age. And I was like, is this the same guy? Like, geez.
Yeah, no, I think it's prosthetics, like
Could be.
Back to the Future style stuff.
Yeah, it could be.
Um,
I'm gonna quickly throw this edit together. So if I start sounding like I'm not paying as close attention, it's because I'm just throwing an intro in here and I'm listening to something else real quick. But keep talking.
Well, yeah. So my main point is just that the timeline doesn't seem to fit for me. Even giving them the benefit of the doubt, the timeline doesn't seem to fit. And I think that if they had have spent a little bit more time and care with
Mhm.
it, they could have made it fit better. But so far it doesn't. And episode 8 and 9 might fix that. But we'll see.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm not sure what could possibly happen in episode 8 and 9 that would make what we've seen so far feel more wrapped up. You know, like I feel like is going to happen is they're going to get out of Russia, and the other kids from California are going to meet up with Elle and get her back to Indiana, and then I guess they just have to have the final battle with Vecna, right? Like I don't.
well, I have a
think?
theory, and it's based off of two things, and it's somewhat spoilery, so I will give you the option of not hearing it.
Well, tell me
Oh,
what,
now
tell-
the spoilers matter. No.
tell me what the two things are. Like, what do you
It
mean?
is film theory. Wait, what?
I forget what the one thing was actually now.
Okay.
Fuck us.
I think it was some interview. No, it was. Yeah, sorry, it was the interview because they interviewed the guys about the Will Byers birthday thing, and there was a comment in that interview, and then there was also a comment made by the two actors that play 11 and Dustin. I believe they were doing an interview, and they made a comment. I think it was Dustin
what did they
and
say?
11. Well, this goes to spoilers, so just letting you be aware of that.
Warning: if you don't want to be spoiled, leave now or cover your ears. It's on you. Okay, I'm listening.
They were saying it jokingly, but they basically said we all die.
Huh. Well,
And
I find that, well, I mean, I saw the thing where Millie Bobby Brown, Eleven's voice actor, Eleven's actor, was saying like it's getting to be like Game of Thrones up in, or it's we need some Game of Thrones up in here. There's too many characters.
Did you say
yes,
11's actor?
yes, oh, yes.
Not random 11.
The number is a coincidence. But so based on the other comment of the Duffer Brothers in the Will Byers birthday scandal, they said something about time, like timelines or something, if I remember correctly. And so I'm thinking, might be wrong, and I kind of hope it's wrong, to be honest. But I'm thinking they might rip off Endgame.
Okay. Like having characters die and then like some sort of time travel thing occur to bring them back.
In season 5.
Okay.
So I think this season will end with a bunch of people dying, and then
okay.
they use
Well,
the fact that the
I will tell you right now.
Upside Down is back
Okay.
in time
Yeah.
to get back in time.
That seems plausible. I definitely think there's going to be more to do with the time in how that's in the past, right? But it seems like if I were them, I would not kill, especially after cucking us on your cliffhanger with Hopper in the thing we were talking about, the credit sequence for season 3. I think it would be really stupid. Like, here's if you killed everybody in episode, what is it, 6 or 8? I guess it's 8 of season 4, and then
be episode 9.
Yeah, but so season 4 is 8 episodes and then 2 more, right?
7 episodes, then 2 more.
Okay, so in episode 7, if you killed them off there, and then you had the small gap of get through June, and then the last 2 episodes come out in July, and then you end game, right? That seems like a better way of presenting the story to the audience than to be like, all right, now let's wait another 2 years for season 5 where we bring them all back and they're in college already.
Well,
They're all pregnant, like.
It won't be 2 years. I'm pretty sure they already filmed season 5.
You think?
It was definitely already greenlit and approved, and it's gonna be the last season. So I'm pretty sure it's if it's not already filmed, like they've been working on it. Like they know what's happening. This is not going to be like a 2-year. And also season 4 was only delayed because of COVID too, right? Or not only, but it was delayed because of COVID. So in theory it would have come out earlier. But
all I know is Lucas has come out the other side of puberty looking like a different person. I'm surprised.
He's not the man you fell in love with.
I can't believe how deep, like, he doesn't have like a super deep voice. He still kind of sounds like Lucas. But like he's got the same fro for like all the characters have the same fucking haircuts from season 1. So he's like Will's got like a Friar Tuck look going on. And then Mike has like his hair just won't stop growing. And then Jonathan has like he looks like like I literally, when I first started watching it, I posted on the Anime Collector page. I said something like I'm really enjoying this new mystery starring Fred, meaning Steve, Daphne, meaning Nancy,
Huh.
Shaggy, meaning Jonathan, Velma, meaning what's the girl's name? Barb, and Milo Yiannopoulos with the Papa character. So yeah, it just like I forgot where I was going with that now.
Steve's
actually.
like 30 years old. That's the other weird thing.
Yeah.
It's like he's playing a high schooler.
Well, that's the age that they usually start with
Or-
when they
well,
start
yeah.
having in modern.
To be fair, I think he's technically in college now, or would be starting college this
In
year.
the show. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think
I'm exporting now. Export media. All right, cool. All done.
I think that's all I can think of as my thoughts on the season.